Today's video will be on applications of equations. So our learning goal for today is to apply equations to solve real-world problems and word problems, so real world and word, by creating and solving linear equations. Okay, so to solve a word problem using algebra, we've got a number of steps. So the first one is to read the problem carefully and find out what it is asking. So what is it asking you to find out? The second is to define a variable. So this is usually related to that first step. So usually what you're asked to find out, that will usually be your variable. And we're going to write a statement of this just so for our sake it's really clear, and if anyone's reading your work as well, it's clear to them. So for instance, let x be the number of whatever you're trying to calculate. So the number of oranges you bought, or the number of years between Mary and Jane, or whatever. So for 3, write an equation using your defined variable to show the relationship between the facts in the question. So this is turning it into an algebraic equation. From there, you can do step 4, which is solve the equation. And the last step is write your answer to the question in words. I should actually write a note here. Remember units. So remember units. So always include your units as well. Okay, so we're going to apply these steps. So our first equation, so 5 less than a certain number is equal to 9 less than 3 times the number. Write an equation to solve it to find the number. Okay, so what are we being asked to find? This unknown number. So let's pick a variable to represent this unknown number. So I'm sure this is going to be very boring for you all, but let's make the number equal x. So let the unknown number equal x. So our next step is to write an equation based on what we know from this question. So 5 less than a certain number. So 5 less than our number. So that's x take 5. So that's 5 less than our number is equal to, so obviously we have to have an equal to sign, 9 less than 3 times the number. Okay, so 9 less is obviously subtract 9, 3 times the number. So 3 times the number, which is 3x. So 3 times our number, take 9. So check out our expression is correct. So 5 less than a certain number, yep, so that's a certain number, we've done 5 less, yep, is equal to, yep, 9 less, yep, then 3 times the number. Okay, so that's our equation there, and now we have to solve it. So we've got variables on both sides of the equation. So what we're going to do is move the variables to one side. So I'm going to get rid of that x by subtracting x from both sides. So negative 5 equals, so 3x take x is just 2x take 9. And then we can just solve using our equivalent equations. So the inverse of take 9 is plus 9. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. So 2x take 9 plus 9 is just equal to 2x. And negative 5 plus 9 is equal to positive 4. Our next step is to get rid of that 2. And to do that, we're going to do the inverse of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. So 2x divided by 2 is just 1x. And 4 divided by 2 is just 2. So therefore, x equals 2. So remember, the last step is to write a word answer because it's a word problem, so it needs a word answer. So therefore, the unknown number is 2. So if you'd like to check your answer, I would strongly encourage you to, so you can check that both sides are equal. So check that 2 take 5 is equal to 3 times 2 take 9. So 2 take 5 is equal to 6 take 9. 2 take 5 is negative 3. 6 take 9, negative 3. Yes, correct. Excellent. Okay. Oh, cleared it instead of going to the new slide. Sorry. Okay, so our second worked example is Debbie and Mary made 254 runs between them in a cricket match. Joy, cricket. Okay, so if Debbie makes 68 more runs than Mary, how many runs did each of them make? Okay, so Mary made a certain amount of runs and Debbie made 68 more. So we'll let our variable be the amount of runs that Mary made. So let Mary's runs equal, let's use y this time, y. So if Mary's runs equal y, therefore Debbie's, oh, too many S's and Debbie's there. Debbie's is 68 more, so Debbie's must be y plus 68. So then we can write our equation. So Debbie and Mary made 254 runs between them. So their total is 254. So 254 equals Mary's runs plus Debbie's runs. So we've got like terms there in our equation that we can add together. So y plus y equals 2y. So 2y plus 68 equals the total number of runs. So we can subtract 68 from both sides. I can't do that in my head, so I'm going to do an equation over here. 254, take 68, carry the 1. So 14, take 8 is 6. Carry 1. 14, take 6 is 8. 186, there we go. So 186 equals 2y. And then the inverse of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So 2y divided by 2 is just going to equal y. 186 divided by 2 is going to give me, I need another equation. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 93. So therefore, remember, answer in a word equation. So it's asking us how many runs did each of them make. So therefore, Mary made 93 runs and Debbie made, so Debbie made 68 more than Mary, so we've got to do 93 plus 68. So I'm just going to rub out some of my working over here. Do I have a bigger pen? A bigger eraser? No. Okay, so I'm just going to rub all this out and then I'll do 93 plus 68 to work out my answer there. So 93, which is the amount of Mary's runs, plus 68, which is Debbie's extra runs. So 8 plus 3 is 11, carry the 1, 60. So Debbie made 161 runs. So if we want to check that, 161 plus 93, add them together, and hopefully we will get 254, which we do. Yes, good. So that would be the answer to that one. So they're the steps involved in solving word equations. So remember, we're defining our variable. Well, first we read the question, find out what it's asking us. Then we can define our variable, write our equation, use all the tools that we've learnt so far about solving algebraic expressions, and that will give us our answer. And then the last step is to write a word answer, including the units. And that's the end of today's video.